has been happening, but it's not acknowledged by the regular media. People think of it as Thanksgiving and continue the myth of what's happened and don't take it from there one step further. And maybe people did sit together and share food and people were taught to survive. But what happened after that?
I love Thanksgiving, but like they should even ban like the history of Thanksgiving, because literally they were just stealing their land. They were just, even though they try to help them, they even helped them survive and get through a cold winter. They just totally took their land, be like, oh, this is mine now, you move.
Me, I have a, I don't like the imagery of Thanksgiving, but Native people, you know, we have ceremonies that are predicated upon thanks for the harvest season, which Thanksgiving is derivative of.
Well, where we come from, we're relatives in what we believe in, and that's the maize, the corn.
I don't necessarily think that Thanksgiving, the title of the holiday, is a bad thing, but the history needs to be taken a look at.
I think it's very important to always acknowledge our ancestors, but I think it's also important to acknowledge that we are still here, and that in itself, you know, there's a myth of conquest. Conquest implies that you wiped out a population. We're still here. We're not going anyplace.
I call Thanksgiving Thanksstealing. That's what I personally call it. So, you know, if they want to have a national day of mourning, I think I would follow that holiday instead. You know, I'd rather follow that holiday instead.
It's just acknowledgement. I mean, as of right now, there is no acknowledgement of the humanity of Native people.
Most people were just, you know, just themselves on their own atmosphere, you know, before white man's technology and all that stuff came involved, you know. Now it's taking over our children nowadays.
Is it an effort to stay in power, to exert that European mindset that we're the authority? It's like, no, you're not. Native American people are the authority on Native American people.
The genocide that happened to them, having wiped out their culture and their history. So it's very important that they come to remembrance of who they were before colonialism, you know. And nowadays everything's all mixed together like a big melting pot, but you know, it's important that people have certain values and cultures that they hold on to dearly, you know, and passed down from generation to generation.
It's okay to mourn, but in the end, you should just have a feast and have a party the whole time, because like, not only are you mourning for the loss, but you're celebrating what they have became.
There was a lot of civilizations that were here. There were people who were fully functional and living sustainable lifestyles that Europeans could learn a lot from if they took the time to listen to the other half of the story.
And yeah, it's a time to celebrate and this and that, but the bottom line is every day is a day of prayer.
Changing Thanksgiving to a national day of mourning might be a bit harder for the population here to take than changing Columbus Day to Indigenous Day, because it's so embedded in this cultural myth here. But again, I think to have acknowledgement somehow over the real stories.